Welcome to Mastering Solutions. In our figure here, we have this mirror and the laser beam is being shined horizontally and then it's getting reflected off. And they want us to figure out from that what this angle phi is. And so this is basically, if you remember from geometry class, this is a transversal where we have two parallel lines with a line bisecting both of them. And so if we draw a line here, we know from the book that this right here is our angle of incidence, meaning the light is incident on the mirror. And then this angle is our angle of reflection after it's reflected off the mirror. And by definition, the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. So we can take this and we can slide this angle phi. You can imagine it coming up here. So this angle right here is also phi. This angle and this angle are called vertical angles. So this is also the same as angle phi. We have a lot of things that we can work with here. And what we're going to do is we're going to set up two equations, one for the angle of incidence and one for the angle of reflection. For the angle of incidence, or theta sub I, you can see here that the angle of incidence and the angle phi, they form a 90-degree angle right there. Theta sub I plus phi is equal to 90 degrees. If we solve it for theta, then we're left with theta sub I is equal to 90 degrees minus, moving that over, angle phi. Now let's do the same thing with the other one. We want the angle of reflection. So this angle right here is also 90 degrees, but we don't know what this is. So if we take the angle of reflection plus this whole section, we just got to minus the angle phi out of there, then that'll give us 90. So we have the angle of reflection plus 60 degrees minus this chunk, so minus phi, that is equal to 90 degrees. So that'll give us angle of reflection is equal to 90 degrees minus 60 minus phi. So now we have two equations, and if we remember from here, they are equivalent to each other. So what we can do is we can set this equation and this equation to each other. So that means that 90 degrees minus phi is equal to 90 degrees minus 60 degrees minus phi. So now we're trying to solve for angle phi. And so now we have one equation with one unknown variable, so we can solve for it. So we need to move phi over to the same side of the equation. First, let's minus over 90 degrees. And so that will go, and then this will also cancel out, so that goes away. So now what we're left with is negative phi is equal to negative 60 degrees plus phi, because the negative carries over. So we have minus 60 and positive phi. So now what we'll do is we'll minus over phi from both sides, minus phi. So that gives us negative 2 phi is equal to negative 60 degrees. Both sides are negative, so let's multiply both sides of the equation by negative 1. So that gives us 2 phi is equal to 60 degrees. Divide both sides by 2, and phi is equal to 30 degrees. So we solved the angle phi, and you probably could have guessed that looks kind of like 30 degrees. But we don't want to just guess, obviously. We want to prove that it's 30 degrees. So using some skills that we picked up from geometry math class, we solve for the angle phi, which is 30 degrees.